Welcome to the Galactic Lounge Podcast Season 4. Today's speakers will be your hosts, Paradox, Garrison, and Mushy Gazelle. Today's guest speaker will be the topic of this episode is enjoy the show.
Welcome back, guys, to the Galactic Lounge Podcast. We got another episode here for you today, episode 10 of season 4. Today we're talking about sports, and the title of the podcast is Game 7. We got a guest here today. How you say your name?
Call me Farvabk.
All right. Let's get right into it. Get off to the most basic question. What's your favorite sports team?
I'm a big football fan, so probably the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm a Minnesota Wild fan, and I'm very depressed.
Every Minnesota team is depressed.
That's why I don't go for a Minnesota team. I go for the Denver Broncos.
That
So
means
you're
a
still
big
depressed.
Football.
I mean, at least you guys get Russell Wilson this year.
Yes. At least we
Wow.
don't suck ass all the time.
You, Farv?
Well, my favorite NFL team would probably be the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
They really be charging, man.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of section it off and kind of like sports. But the first sport we have up is hockey. The first question is kind of, I'd say, ironic for at least one of you. But what do you think about the Arizona Coyotes getting kicked out of their arena? This is real. They got kicked out of their arena because they didn't pay like the money to be there. What do you
It's
think
kinda
about
funny.
that?
It is kind of funny. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, it's like
I'm not a big hockey guy, so
in general, it's just kind of funny because like
Yeah, like
Gotta pay
it's
them
their
taxes,
arena.
guys.
How do you get kicked out of your own arena?
they didn't pay.
Yeah, exactly, but it's still.
Yeah, just like how do you do that? Like
How
it's like
do
a
you
sign
mess
from the
up this
gods
bad?
just have no hockey in Arizona. Like, bruh. Anyways, moving on to more idealistic question. This one's majority of these questions are actually open to really any sport, but they're like their section in like whatever sport I'm thinking about at the time. But what do you think about the idea of having a maximum amount you can spend on signing players, aka a salary cap?
I think it actually could be a good thing because then that way you wouldn't have like one guy who like because like obviously you can't just spend all your team's money on one guy and then now you have like nothing to go around for the other guys either. But
Yeah,
like
you can't build a team
that's
around one
nice.
guy.
Then that way you
Yeah.
can't just build a singular team around one guy who you pay all this money to and he just winds up being shit anyway.
It also balances like teams who spend like that are in better markets, like
Yeah.
in the NFL and NHL.
Yeah, and it might actually cause them to spend like money on actually training their players, so they don't actually have to spend just money on their players to just get them on the team in the first place.
Yeah, one other thing it does, is like if you could have in the NHL you can have more than a salary cap, but those players cannot be on the actual team. There's
Yeah.
actually a loophole. You can put them on injured reserve, and that cap doesn't count, which is interesting, but you don't know.
Yeah.
Anything else on salary cap? It's a pretty big topic.
I don't really know much
Uh,
about salaries and stuff like that.
I mean, Drew Brees, the quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, at one point in time was being paid 1/3 of New Orleans' salary.
Jesus.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I
They
think I've
didn't win a
actually heard
Super
that
Bowl at all,
before.
right?
I don't think they did win any.
I feel like it would also like discourage players from being like, no, I'm not going to receive your offer because it's too low. When
Yeah.
it's just like
Uh,
totally ridiculous, you know? Like, because in that way, again, you can wind up not having to build a team around one player. You can have more than one. Than having
Yeah.
your pony boy, your star player. Now you can have more than one, and it's not siphoning away all your team's money to pay one guy.
I mean, I kind of get it because ever since Drew Brees left the Saints, they've been kind of just mediocre. Because I mean, he's
Yeah.
a really, really good quarterback.
Similar stuff with like salary cap and how contracts work, but we'll probably won't even talk about we'll talk about later. Anyways, if you're gonna draft a player, are you gonna draft like for any sport? Are you gonna draft from North America or are you gonna draft from Europe or anywhere else?
Really depends on the sport. Obviously, NFL you can't really draft people
Draft
outside.
from Europe and stuff. You can only do it within the United States.
For like soccer, there's a ton of people who are just very good at the
I know,
sport.
like if you
That
draft
maybe
from Europe, it usually means they're like pretty good.
yeah, because
Well,
and
compared to North
or
America.
like retired. Because like all the retired like really good players like Ibrahimovic and like Wayne Rooney, they just come over to America to just play in the or
They
the
got money.
yeah.
That's
They
the
just get money to
for
just
MLS
play.
for a big couple of years.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think like some of the European teams too, like they just have a better pool of players. Like for like soccer, hockey, shoot, even the other sports like well, I mean they're not technically sports, but they are like figure skating
basketball's
and
pretty
stuff
big
too.
there.
Yeah, basketball. What's another one? Got track and field.
Yeah.
Running. I mean, running's a thing everywhere.
Running is more of a African, if I would say.
Trying to say something?
Yeah, a lot of good players come out of Africa.
Yeah, like, but and
you
they got
trying
like
to say something?
a lot of Africans like when all the running track and field events, and then you got plus like Jamaica.
Oh yeah, you got Usain Bolt over there.
Yes, retired for the. Moving on to another draft related question, but is a draft lottery a good idea, or would you rather give like the first pick in a draft to like the lowest ranked team?
That would be a good one right there. Just giving first pick to the lowest player, like the lowest.
Yeah, that
team.
seems more fair.
Because that's way more fair. Because if you have lottery like that, obviously lottery can be cheated and have your best team constantly paying off the lottery to give them first pick, and now all of a sudden you have a very big problem.
Well,
where
the lottery
you're
would
not
only
going
work, like,
anywhere.
for, like the bottom, like the teams that don't make like their playoffs or something. Like if you
Oh,
get
yeah.
you get disqualified from the lottery.
I think that seems kind of fair. If the teams who didn't make the playoffs were all put into a pool and
Yeah, to get
gotten a
first
another first pick, yeah. That would make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
It does give them a bit of well, obviously you're gonna give more of the probability to the lowest ranked teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna give
Go up.
them a better chance.
I think that makes sense.
Because I mean the whole point of watching a team sport is to like see new things, because it gets boring after a while when it's the same team with the same players who win every
Patriots.
single time. Yeah, Patriots, and then of course
Any
Tom Brady goes to the
dynasty.
Buccaneers, and what do? They go and win.
Literally any dynasty.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown played for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, he did.
Didn't he streak as well?
Oh yeah, he took out his shirt and ran out of the stadium. He didn't want to play. But the coach was like, "Yo, you got to play." He was like, "Nah, F this."
And didn't even
Left.
sign him.
I'm not sure if I'm not sure if this is true, but doesn't Antonio Brown like have brain damage from all the
Probably.
concussions?
Probably.
Almost. It's easier
It's
to
like a
find
yeah, it's like a really
players
niche-
that are in the NFL who have concussions and like the serious brain problems than it is to find one that doesn't. It's hard to find somebody who hasn't been in a single.
Well, yeah, if you're just
concussion,
getting
'cause,
slammed
even
around
just one or
for your
two,
job.
those are very damaging to the brain.
All right. Do you guys know what a beer league is?
Beer league?
Yeah, beer league, like
Not like a
booze. It's like an
No.
old guy league.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you think those are good or bad?
I think they're pretty nice for especially for older guys who still want to play the sport, but are old.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you're more you get play with your local dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda like you play softball with your brother, with your coworkers or something.
Yeah.
In a sense.
It's a nice casual, not necessarily super competitive, but fun
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of the Bikini Bowl?
The hell is that?
I think I've seen that before.
So originally it started out as a meme, but now it's like actually a huge thing. So basically, what you do is you get a bunch of very hot women, particularly like
no.
swimsuit models and stuff, and then you make them play football, wearing nothing but bikinis, shoulder pads, and
Is this like a
helmets.
redneck? This got to be a redneck thing.
No, this is a real thing, and like almost all of South America participates in it. Most southern states in the United States participate in it.
South Africa?
That is just
Specifically
amazing.
South America, not South
Oh.
Africa. South America and Central
South
America.
Africa probably has
Like
one.
I know that Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, I think Cuba might even have a team too.
Jesus.
I just imagine
Yeah.
like these
And they just go and play football, and then they get like super violent with each other, and then like sometimes
Guys,
they
I broke
lose
my
their
boob.
tops, but other than that,
snapped it in half.
It's got a
Is
it's got
that
a lot of
basically
following.
softcore porn?
Yeah, but instead they're throwing a football around and playing football.
I just
Bruh.
imagine them like
Again,
sitting
it
around a
started as, like,
table
a meme.
and like they're like all like 50-year-old balding males that are like slightly overweight, and they're like, guys, football's getting a little bit boring.
Yeah, this
Hear
is
me
how
out.
it started. Yeah, right here.
Women are not good at football, so we'll just throw them in. Okay, yeah, but like let's like
Throw them
make
in.
them not wear clothes. That would be
Instead, a
even more
bunch of-
interesting.
a bunch of big-tittied swimsuit and underwear models who wear nothing but bikinis the entire time.
This was basically driven by money.
Yep. Yeah, actually, it was.
Money
It was
and
originally
old guys
started
with haircuts.
as, I think it was one of the Super Bowls in either 2014 or 2017 during their like ad campaigns and stuff. They did a mini thing on it, and then all of a sudden somebody went, "That's a really good idea," and then they started doing it, and it became a thing. And then it got even more traction, and more steam, and more people were like, "Damn, I want to watch this." And then it got made fun of by the
I
news.
wonder why. I wonder
And
why.
then it got
people
even
wanna
more
watch that.
popularity.
All right, we're moving on to anything else in like more or less hockey you want to talk about?
I don't
I
think
guess
so.
that's a no. But let's move on to the basketball questions. How many years is too much for a contract normally? Personally, I like to say anything past 5 years is way too much.
I
I was
agree
gonna
with
say-
that.
I was gonna say just 5, but
Yeah.
You can't tell what happens after like 5 years. Like they could just
Dude.
fall off completely. Even if like
Yeah.
take
let me tell
Patrick
you a story.
Mahomes for instance. He's got like a 10-year contract, right?
Let me tell you something even worse. Back in like was it 2011 or 2010, the Minnesota Wild signed Ryan Suter and Zach Parise for a 13-year contract.
What the heck?
Why?
What if
And
they like
guess what? Literally a
destroy
year
their
ago.
like neck and like are
Yeah,
paralyzed from the neck down in the first
Yeah,
2 years of
literally
their
a year ago,
contract?
we just bought those contracts out, and we're gonna be literally screwed for the next 4 or 5 years in cap
Yeah.
just because we did that. And they're absolutely garbage players now.
Okay, I hate to change the topic, but I just quick looked up Bikini Bowl. It was actually called the Legends Football League.
What the hell?
And it was founded in 2009, and then it ended in 2019 as their 10th
That went on for 10 years.
Why did it end?
COVID
I
probably.
think yeah, COVID, and then it's coming back this year.
No.
Yep, coming back this year.
People are not gonna like that.
First game is at the Atlanta Empire at Budweiser Event Center.
Who are they facing?
Who the hell knows?
Bruh.
Let's see here. Let me quick look it up. Let me open it up.
Is it like since you said there's South American countries, is it like American football or is it like soccer football?
No, it's American football. It's football. Like what we do here. I'll quick.
Why do the South American countries want in it?
I'll show you why when I post a picture of it in Lounge.
Yeah. Anyways,
No.
what do you think about having an all-star game for your best players in your specific league? Is it good or bad? Oh my god, what the hell is that? Got like hockey helmets on.
Yes, they do. I don't know why.
That is literally that. Those are actual hockey helmets. Those are.
Yeah,
Those are like
they are.
those are like early 2000s, late 90s helmets.
Yep.
They could. They don't
Dude,
pay enough to have actual helmets.
That is like the photo that they're using for the 2022 kickoff. For
Jesus Christ. But anyways, you want to answer the question about all-star games? Are they good or bad?
Yes.
All-star games, like
Yeah, like where you have your best players in the league.
you mean like a Pro Bowl type thing?
Like a Pro Bowl, like just an all-star game.
I think they're pretty cool.
I think
it's
they're
pretty fun.
cool.
Yeah, it's somewhat cool. It's like a middle break of the season.
Yeah.
It's kind of like did we ever talk about this before? The U.S. Armed Services football league.
No.
Where they
Mentioned it once or
where
twice.
they have like the military academies, they have their own football teams, and they fight in like on the field in football games for the Commander-in-Chief Cup, or I think that's what it's called. And then like they get like championship rings and stuff, and it's like the Joint Chiefs of Staff rings or something. I don't know. I know the cup is called like the Commander-in-Chief Cup, and then they play football. And it's super competitive, like really competitive.
Jesus Christ.
Kind of cool. But it's like it's like West Point. You have the Air Force Academy. You have Annapolis. Yeah, it's the big colleges, like all U.S. Armed Services colleges. Those are just like three that are most prominent.
All right. Since done the all-star question, but we're not doing a specifically basketball-related question. Well, indirectly though. But what do you think about an in-season tournament in like a league? But apparently the NBA is thinking about adding an in-season tournament to their schedule.
I don't think it would make sense.
Yeah, it would take away from like the NBA championship or even playoffs. So
yeah, I don't think it really needs to happen.
But it would stir up like if if the NBA did it, it would stir them up, well, like get more viewers, obviously.
Yeah.
'Cause it'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, who's gonna win the championship? I guess on
Yeah.
the other hand, it's more like if like it's like kind of like how the NHL like will occasionally when they let their players go to the Olympics, they like stop and you just watch the Olympics and you watch those teams play. It'd be kind of be like that, but at the same time, doesn't really make any sense. Moving on from basketball to baseball. Is it good to occasionally have exposition games between two teams from opposite leagues or opposite sides of the world?
I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe like every once in a while, but not like
Yeah.
every other game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Cool
I've
to
only
switch it up
really
sometimes.
saw like the NHL do that. It'd be cool to see like the NBA or the MLB do something like that. I know, oh yeah, in soccer they do that like all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they have worldwide teams, and I know that baseball there is.
They face off
God.
against like the Japanese every year.
Yeah, and then
It-
there's one other team. It's from the Central America. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's Dominican Republic.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have a
You-
baseball team that's pretty good.
yeah. Like why don't like the NBA or like the NFL do that?
Because American football isn't played anywhere else in the world other than
Like the
America.
NBA though.
Basketball? I don't know.
Like, come on, bros, get off your ass, do
I
something.
mean,
Because
basketball.
it's funny though, because when basketball, like when they win, don't they be like crowned champions like of basketball of Earth or something, like of the globe?
Yeah.
Can't remember. Yeah,
No.
exactly. Yeah, they do.
World champions. That's
Yeah,
what the
world
NFL
champions.
does
That's
too.
yeah, the NFL does that too. It's
That's
like
every American league.
yeah, but still, like, why the fuck
But I mean,
do we crown them
basket-
champion of the world, like world champions, if they
the
haven't
only
beat
country
the
that
entire
matters.
world?
I mean, basketball has Toronto, which is in Canada.
True.
North American champions, besides Mexico. You want to know the best, like league, like outer league match was the Philadelphia Flyers versus the Soviet Union.
Yep.
What?
You want to know what
Yep.
happened? You want to know what happened? After a little while, the Soviets literally got off the bench and went back into the locker room
Bruh.
Nope.
because the Flyers were killing them.
Yeah, or like in the dear God, I think it was the 50s, and the Soviet hockey team kind of just crashed in their little plane in the middle of a blizzard.
Oh yeah, they do that, man.
Yeah, they
So
do
they
that
do
every
that.
once in a while.
Yeah,
And
they
it
just
was
do that.
it was funny though because it was Stalin's son who was like in charge of it, and he ordered them to go like to fly the hockey team in the middle of the storm, even though he was told not to. And they had like a world championship against like the Americans like the next like month, and they were all severely hospitalized for several, so they couldn't do anything. And yeah,
I think what
it
it's
was
sort
funny.
of a question here, but like if like you guys like understand like if you sign a player from like a different nation, how much of a risk that is to they have like a higher chance of just going back home and taking the money.
Yeah.
There is one NHL player literally signed an 11-year contract with the New Jersey Devils. I forget how much, but like after 1 year, they literally went back to Russia. It was
Funny.
absolutely hilarious.
Go in, go out.
Go in, get money, go out. It's a Chungus moment. Ah, another baseball question. Well, actually, specifically baseball question. What do you think about a pitching timer?
What is that?
It's kind of like in basketball, you have like the throw timer. If the ball you have to like
Oh,
throw it, can have it'd be like that because like apparently like the pitchers they don't throw that fast, and you just
yeah.
get the game in occasionally.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I feel like it could speed up the game, but at the same time, it's
if it becomes really
like
excessive,
it's
where the
yeah.
pitcher's
If it
waiting
becomes
too long,
excessive, yeah.
Yeah,
why would you need to wait that long though?
I don't know,
Um.
man. You gotta like flex out your hands more, put more
Wait for your team to get all set up and stuff. You know, get ready.
yeah,
I guess so.
or pivoting to another question. What do you think about like the current like a lot of cheating scandal or proposed cheating scandals in the MLB with them like using resin on their hands to make the ball go faster?
I mean, obviously you shouldn't do that.
I think
Advantage.
it's actually kind of funny because of the amount of stuff that like they do. Like, for fuck's sakes, really hand signals. Oh, we're gonna steal the other team's hand signals. Who cares? Any
You know what the
normal
Houston
onlooker of the game can
Astros are
figure
gonna
out
do?
what it means.
The Houston
then-
Astros are gonna bang on a goddamn garbage can in the World Series, and they're gonna win the World Series.
Yep. I could totally see that happening
It did happen.
again. Like in
What?
hello.
Yes.
Man,
Yes.
guys, like, so what do you guys think about that, like, whole cheating, like, with your hand, with putting, like, stuff in your hands to make the ball go faster in baseball?
Obviously, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, because it gives your team an unfair advantage. Although, what if they just like made a league entirely where all teams were expected to cheat?
That would actually
I
be
mean,
think
isn't
about
interesting.
it.
that sports in general? Like, sports in general, you're supposed to, like, cheat without them knowing.
Yeah. Like if they know, then you're doing it wrong.
It's like how in like, I think it's in NASCAR where they want you to cheat, but once you get caught for cheating, you're, like, screwed for a little while.
Wait, where is that?
Yeah.
Like NASCAR is some cheating. Well, like what they say is like it's good for you to try cheating, but if you get caught cheating, you're screwed.
You're fucked. I think that's just the general rule of thumb with all cheating, though.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games until you get caught.
Yeah.
Bruh. Also, it'd be kind of funny if like some of the like if they just like if they didn't ban like having like resin or some stuff on your hands to pitch. It'd be like allowing steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, think about it. Steroids makes everything better.
You know.
Makes the players more beefy. It makes the game more enjoyable to watch.
And it makes them sock a few more dingers.
Gives them Mark McGuire arms.
If
Yep.
steroids were allowed, then it'd just be stupid not to take them. Everyone
Yep.
else is going to take them for an advantage.
Yep. Exactly.
You just have a giant
Well,
drug
maybe
fest.
not like the mega pros who actually have like a bit of personality.
Well,
It's not fake.
then what happens to the people who are taking steroids that catch up to them? And they're going to have to take steroids to keep on being better than them.
Yeah, and they'll eventually have a mental breakdown. And
Yeah.
they'll leave the
All I
sport.
want to see is just some good old fashioned sports like baseball or football where you have some big Arnold Schwarzenegger looking motherfuckers throwing a ball around where all they have to do is touch the other person and they're completely eviscerated by the other person's pure amount of muscle mass.
There was a guy who did that,
Ooh.
Yikes.
Bo Jackson.
Oh yeah, Bo Jackson.
Oh yeah.
What about like the Brazilian like thing where isn't like they're like injecting themselves with like oil or something? It's
What?
something. It's
Yeah,
not.
I've
It's
seen
not steroids,
Just
but
car
it's
oil?
something.
They just make their muscles look bigger.
Yeah,
Motor
it makes
oil?
their muscles look bigger, but it's not like how steroids work, but it like makes their like uh something medical goes wrong with them.
Yeah, it gets them like infected or once you're like pumping it up to the point where your skin can't hold it in.
Oh
You
yeah,
have a-
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and then their like
Yeah.
arm explodes. Yeah.
I don't what?
Yeah,
Excuse
shit.
me?
I don't remember what it's
The
actually called.
Brazilians doing some
Injecting
wacky shit.
oil into your muscles to make them
What
look
kind of
larger.
oil? Was it just car oil?
No, no,
I
it's
probably not.
actually I
Probably like
don't think
palm
it's
oil.
oil. I think it's something else.
I put Mobile One in my legs to make me run.
Yo.
I put Mobile One in my legs every day to make myself go faster.
Castrol Edge.
Yeah.
I'd like to take some supplements of gasoline.
All right, moving on to the last baseball question. What do you think about the MLB having like two like not it's not just MLB, I'm pretty sure it's the NFL too. But they have two separate leagues inside of the league, but they have very, very minute rule changes in each of the separate leagues. Like I think one of the leagues in the MLB has it used so you don't have to have your pitcher bat for one of them, while the other one you have to have the pitcher bat. What do you think about that?
I mean,
I think it's just dumb.
Yeah, I think the whole game should be relatively similar.
Yeah.
I mean, it does make some of the stuff for a little while, but like
Yeah, I think that should
Really?
be just a different league in itself.
really
Yeah.
you should like combine and like have the same rules,
Yeah.
not have like one singular rule difference.
Yeah.
Like who the hell gonna care? Like if you don't have your pitcher batting, like the other team that's like in the other leagues gonna have like that doesn't have to have their pitcher bat. They're gonna have freaking like Mark McGuire 2.0 like bat for them. It's like monster arms.
Yeah.
Moving on to American football. More of a connected question to football. How many games is too much in a season for any sport?
20.
Yeah, I feel like since adding 17 games on the rosters this year, I feel like yeah, somewhere around like from 18 to 20.
Like personally, like when I first like got the concept of like the NFL, I didn't like the idea that they only play like one game a week. I'm like, you have so many people that are like, why don't you play another game? But
Well, sometimes they
same-
do. If they have like a Sunday game
well, like
and then
I mean like actually 2 games in a week, not like one on Sunday to next to the Saturday, which that's more of a coincidence, I'd say.
I mean, you have like Sunday football. You got like 3 or like 6 games, something like that. And then you
Yeah,
have
but,
like Saturday night football. You have Monday night football. You have Thursday night football.
Then called danitonium benzoate, and
What the hell you watching?
I don't know, bro. My phone just went.
I think I get the reason kind of like why they do it a bit is because like if you do that you'll get more fans in the stands and it becomes more of a exclusive atmosphere.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, wouldn't it be more fun if your players played more games? I'm like, have you looked at the MLB schedule? They play like 100 games.
Yeah.
Literally. And I think the NBA and ML and NBA and NHL play like 82.
I think football, yeah, just NHL is pretty much the same physicality as football, but yeah, football's like
Yeah.
really tolling on the body.
Yeah.
Like
It
for
seems
like
like you're
other
just like
games like
waiting.
baseball, you don't like check people.
Yeah.
I could see
But when
baseball
like
having
it,
100 games.
like those that's on those injuries like just, well more or less you're done for.
Yeah.
But like you have so many players on those teams and like you could theoretically play 2 or 3 games a week. Which
It, w-
like
it wouldn't
the
necessarily
NHL
be more
does.
quality.
Yeah, but
But
it'd be a lot more money.
yeah, I feel like it like saturate the NFL.
Yeah, but like what do you think if like how the teams like the games would be laid out, like how many games you gonna like have in your own like division or conference? Like should you face off against people in your conference or in your division like 3 or 4 times?
I think so. That makes sense because then you have to figure out which person's or which team is the best in the conference, which obviously
Yeah.
moves on. So it makes sense to play them at least 2 times a year.
Yeah, how much? And then well, one thing I kind of realized like a little while ago, you were talking to me about it, Gary, but why in the NFL, like, if you're gonna have, well, I think that in some leagues, well, I've originally thought the NFL where you'd only play people in your conference, but apparently you play a random set of teams in that 17 weeks, which have to include people from your division.
Yeah, it's you play both pretty evenly actually, but you have to play 2 times with each person in your conference. So that's 6 games plus just randomized, I think.
And like, what would it mean to have like exclusivity? Like, I don't really understand it a little bit. It seems like you're just like randomizing it to get like slightly a little more money because like these teams are only some of the teams are only facing off like every like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
But then you have your division rivalries where you can have more more rivalries if you play these teams maybe a little more or more exclusively just in general. Or you can play like the whole league and you can find out who's realistically a better team besides going into the playoffs.
I think it's good as it is right now.
I think
Yeah.
it'd be yeah, on a fan like side, they probably need to define it a little more. Because like that's really confusing. Anything else more about schedules and games and how they work?
No.
What do you
No.
think about them playing in Germany and
Like those
Europe?
exposition games?
Yeah.
Like where they
I think one game's being played in Mexico too.
I think generally for any sport that's a good idea, but you have to have a fan base there a little
Yeah.
bit.
Well, I think you're gonna have a fan base anywhere. People want to show up because
Yeah.
football, it's really popular in this
Like you have to
country.
have a little bit of a name. I think with like the football how like that. The English game started where they have a little bit of knowledge there, but people just go to that game out of like curiosity.
Yeah.
So you're getting a bit more fans, which is kind of the opposite for the NHL when they go to like a European uh for a European game
Yeah.
and play
Yeah.
one of those teams. It's like they know what the NHL is, but it's more or less you're playing for those European players, which
Yeah.
is interesting. But then you have like you have like NBA and then NHL. I think MLB. We've all played a game in China where like you don't know really about those. Oh yeah, connect the question that should those like exhibition games, those all count as like normal games, or should those be preseason games?
No, I think they should be normal games.
Normal games.
Yeah. I mean, nothing really changes. I mean, sure, you could play preseason games out there too. None
Yeah.
of the rules have
Yeah.
changed. None of that. I mean, maybe the timing's changed a little bit, but otherwise, it's basically the same.
Yeah. Moving on. Should the NFL have a minor league? Like basically rest of the top 4 sports in the U.S. have a minor league. Why should the NFL have one or not?
I feel like college football is basically a minor league.
Yeah.
They go straight from the draft into football or into NFL.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like my main point with having a minor league for NFL would be like you have so many players in the NFL that do like absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and
So like
having them all being jammed into the minor league would just
it'd be a lot better,
yeah.
and you'd make a lot more money too. But obviously they wouldn't have as big of contracts as like
The
players.
major
And it would-
leagues
yeah, and
of
like
the NFL.
Yeah.
and it would problem with that will probably make like college level play a little less
Yeah,
like,
prominent.
exciting.
Yeah.
Because you just put your drafted players in your minor leagues.
Yeah, and the whole point of college football is to already basically be that minor league.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Anyways, what do you think about the alternative American football leagues, like the XFL, the USFL? Are they going to last at all, or are they going to die again?
Again.
Well, yeah, because both of them died before, like 20 years ago before.
Yeah.
Personally, I think they're going to die again.
Yeah, it's bound to happen.
Well, I mean, if they died once, they're probably gonna do it a second time.
Yeah.
Have you seen how like the USFL works? Like they're only playing games in Birmingham, Alabama, and like how like what you have teams specifically from different locations.
Yeah.
And like, why are you only playing in Birmingham, Alabama? You're not gonna get any fans from any of those like other places.
Yeah.
Honestly, don't even get me started on USFL. They have the worst names for any other teams in the world. Such garbage names. It's
Hit me
worse
with
than
the
calling
names.
It's worse names than calling your team just blank United or blank FC.
What are the team names?
I forget the team names, but like they were really basic and they had like no relation to like whatever city they were.
Can someone look it up?
I will look it up and I'm not gonna post it real quick.
Alright.
You guys can talk about it while I search it up.
I don't really have much to say.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, guys, you gotta talk about something.
Not really.
No,
Oh,
not
yeah.
That's
really.
not really how it
They have
works.
they have the Pittsburgh Maulers, New Orleans Breakers, the Houston Gamblers, Birmingham Stallions, the New Jersey Generals, the Michigan Panthers, the Philadelphia Stars, the Tampa Bay Bandits, Portland Breakers, the New. Oh, like those are only team. Let me.
Okay, just
Terrible.
based off of some of these names, it kind of sounds like they just
You
made
just
an
slap a
off-brand
name on there and
team.
said,
No, they
"That's
just made an
that."
off-brand team of the NFL team. Like, for fuck's sakes, the Tampa Bay Bandits. That's just the same thing as the
It
Tampa
doesn't
Bay
even sound like
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
What?
It sounds like
Yeah,
a
no,
freaking
no. What I mean
southern.
is like, yeah, it's just an alternate for the word because the Buccaneers are supposed to be pirates, and what are pirates? They're fucking bandits. So by just
Houston
changing the name,
Gamblers
it's
does
the
not make
same
sense.
thing. Well, Texas is a southern state, and I guess they like to gamble. I don't know.
Texas
Texas
Hold'em.
is not known for gambling.
No, that would be Nevada.
Nevada is known for gambling. Like, Jesus, what the hell are these names? These are absolutely garbage. But moving on. Now to soccer. Should embellishment be a major penalty in any league? I'm
Embellishment?
understanding. Do you guys even know what embellishment is?
I don't.
Not a fucking clue.
God damn, man, you guys are not educated at all.
No,
When embellishment,
we are not.
embellishment is basically like, on like the stereotype of like a soccer player, you have like the people who always like trip and fall and like they pretend like they break like their whole body and stuff.
Yeah.
And basically embellishment is like when they get tripped, they are embellishing that like a so-called injury there. It's basically you're
So,
faking an injury
yeah.
just to get that player a penalty.
I mean, it's
Okay.
pretty much up to the refs at that point.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying, should it be a major penalty besides a normal penalty?
I think it's pretty much part of soccer now. I don't think that.
Yeah.
I'm saying for like all leagues, any sport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can't really just go in and say. Well, you can't. Well, you can't like fully inspect a dude without him telling you. You can like after a dude breaks, quote unquote, like breaks his ankle.
Well, yeah, usually like those calls for like embellishment are like, well, you know it's embellishment because they almost act it up. You can tell that they're acting
Yeah.
there. So, like that's my
Yeah.
opinion.
Well, it would make sense if there was some sort of punishment to make people do it less.
Yeah. Because doing it at all is already kind of, I don't know, not really a good thing, because it draws away from playing the game, which is
Exploiting the
point
game.
of why you're there.
Yeah. What do you think about player loans? Good or bad? Again, I'm guessing you guys don't.
I don't know what
Not
a
a
player
clue.
loan is.
Man, you guys are just not educated at all in sports.
No, we are not. We already told you this.
Why the hell did we do this podcast?
I don't know. I mean, I knew about the Legends League of Football, the best thing since sliced
But-
bread.
But player loans are basically when you have a player in like a lower, well, like usually a lower league gets like loaned to a little bit of a better team in a different league or something. It's confusing, but it happens in soccer a lot. Where you
Okay.
have like a player getting loaned to a better team in a different league. What do you think about those?
I mean, it's not really sure. I mean, if you have
Yeah.
like a good contract and everything, maybe. But
Yeah.
it's within the rules. I think it's reasonable.
Yeah.
I kind of don't see the point because like, why are you even signing that person if you're gonna have them loaned out?
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
you can.
maybe you all of a sudden need money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not even
you
using
signed
that
on to
player?
the person because you really wanted them or something. I don't know. Or
Or
yeah,
you like
as
really
Gary
suck
said,
or
maybe
something.
you just don't need them. Or you're not using them. You can loan them out.
Slavery.
All right. Moving
Although
on.
then again, when you think about it, isn't that technically just like being a hockey pimp? You know, you got some hoes and then you pimp them out to another team for money.
Yeah, usually means your team really sucks then, I'd guess. But moving on, more of a yes/no question, like real quick. Should you play in the rain?
Yeah.
For a
Yeah.
second, you play in the rain. Personally, say yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
rain is fun.
Unless it
Uh,
gets to like a really terrible point where it's like hailing baseball size hail or something like that.
Yeah, or
I'd
somebody
try.
gets struck by lightning.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Can I bring out what's your thoughts? Yes, no? What?
Yeah.
All right. Well, last question. So we're getting down to it. World Championship and Olympics. What would be a good underrated place to host the Olympic Games?
Um.
Personally, I'd say like some South American like nation, maybe like Chile or Argentina hosting the Winter Olympics.
why would they host it? You'd realize
It'd
some
be hot.
countries
You host
literally
it. No, you
they
not
some
host it in the
countries
summer, you
literally
dumbass.
cannot host the Winter Olympics, right? Like
Both of those, Chile and Argentina, can host the Winter Olympics because they have snow in their mountainous area regions. Like, use your geographical brain, brother.
yeah,
They
but
should do something like
you don't
like-
understand that only certain countries can actually host the Winter Olympics though. Like even if they have snow, some of them can't.
I think a good spot would be like Greenland.
Because I mean, for fuck's sakes, Mount Kilimanjaro has snow on it, but you don't see them going out there with skis. Now, do you? No, you silly
Well, yeah,
sausage.
but like
Whoa.
Argentina actually gets a bit of snow besides the mountain range, and it's actually more. It's more like our climate a bit, but a bit hotter.
Yeah.
So I think it would be cool to like put Olympic Games down there for Winter Olympics.
I think
It
Greenland
wouldn't be
would
as
be
bad
pretty
as
cool.
China's for the Winter Olympics. They probably have more snow down there than China.
Yeah, at least they wouldn't construct an Olympic park after evicting 100,000 people and then abandon the park
You
and just
never know.
tell nobody to go back.
I mean, look at Brazil. What happened at Rio?
Well, yeah. But that's because it's not going to be their term again, like their turn again for like the next 100 years.
Well, let's go back to what Garrett said in Greenland. Why are you picking Greenland?
There's no other spot. Greenland's pretty sick. Good scenery. Yeah.
I mean, who the hell gonna
Greenland.
sign off
Nobody
on that?
lives in Greenland. You do realize
That don't
right?
matter.
There's, like,
People will go there.
hold up. I think the actual
There's
population of
nothing there
of
for them
Greenland
to do
is
besides watch the
2,200.
games. There's usually something there, something in a specific city there for them.
Like I could see
to,
like
see.
Iceland. I could see Iceland. Yeah, the Greenland
Yeah,
only has the
Reykjavik.
population of 56,000.
Well, that sucks to
Bruh.
suck. People will just go there.
No,
It's
it's a
not- no.
barren wasteland.
Not
I don't know how
exactly.
you
The
can
only
get the
places that are
resources to
actually
get out
like
there.
populated are the Faroe Islands with 48,000 people. That means that 8,000 people don't live on like 3 little islands that aren't even near it.
XD. So, what's your pick for a good Olympic place? Farvabk, whatever. Man, it's like really hard to say
I
your name. I'm not
mean,
gonna lie.
Although
I-
Greenland's GDP is pretty good. It makes about $3 billion a year.
So, what's your pick?
I I might have to agree with, I don't remember who said it, but it might be like Iceland or Greenland.
Yeah, this is for like any Olympic Games though. So like pick anything. Literally.
Well, I mean, one country that
Dubai.
could do it, that has the money to
Infrastructure.
do it, would be a tiny Asian country called Brunei.
Oh yeah, but like politics gonna be like, yo, nah, we don't like this guy. Because Brunei does not have a really good
It's very small.
it's very small, but like people don't really like it for some reasons. I'm not gonna say. Um,
Yeah.
what's your pick, Mushy, for that one? So we're all gonna do this one.
I think Iceland should host the Olympics.
All right. Moving on.
Because the last time they actually hosted though was like 1948. So
No, they didn't.
no,
They might have like signed up for like the bid, but they didn't host at all.
no. Let's see here. No, wait, no, my bad.
1948. That's like Japan. That was gonna be Japan.
1908.
All right.
My bad. 40 years before that was the last time they hosted.
Let's move
Oh yeah,
on.
it's about time.
We got a lot. We got like 2 more questions left, and we get to weekly music. So, should the host nation of like Olympics or a World Cup be granted like a free pass to qualify for like those major events?
I think so.
Come on, bro. Let's talk. Yes or no?
I said yeah.
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 I think somewhat, yeah.
Oh my
But at the
god.
same time, like if that team like really sucks, they really shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Like what almost happened with the Chinese in this year's Olympic Games, where they were almost like complete dog shit, but they had like a ton of like retired like NHL players that had like barely any connection to the Chinese, aside from like one genetic. And they played on that team and they like won like a game, and that was it.
3 and me when you have 1% Chinese.
Ding dong. Um, Final question here. I guess probably I'll answer this one, but which like championship would you most want to win? Would you rather win the Stanley Cup, the Super Bowl, World Series, World Cup, or Champions League, or a gold medal?
World Cup.
Gary said World Cup. Mushy?
World Cup.
Farvabk?
World Cup.
Pers-
Yeah, or
No
I'd win.
diversity.
Personally, I'd say like Stanley Cup, because like you're playing like 4 games per thing, so you really are like battling it out. Besides like one game.
I feel like the World Cup, since you do it every 4 years, you're practicing for 4 years. Plus, you're like facing the whole entire world, and to be the best in the world, I feel like it's a little more rewarding.
Like 48 other teams. Well, you're not facing 40 other teams. You're hypothetically going up against 40 other teams, but you're really going up against like you're only playing like 8 teams.
But
in that whole thing.
The top 2 teams are the best 2 teams, so they're the best.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like only playing like one playoff game is kind of unfair at some point, but it is what it is. So you can't make any mistakes there. I guess we can move on to weekly music again. You guys remember what this is? We play a song and stuff. Someone please get the bot up here.
This one yours?
Oh, this is from my playlist. We gotta disconnect it. That song is not
Oh.
a song.
Why did Pancake just what?
Played a completely random song. I
Let's
guess I'm going first by that logic. Got pull it up again. We got Retax Heartbeat. That's the timer. It's been an hour now.
Yeah.
That's a classic synth one.
Yep.
Wait, like 30 seconds more. That's really good for mine.
Very nice.
Got Telepath and Tara.
Yeah.
Sounds like a place name.
A classic.
Absolute Telepath classic. Pretty
Yep.
banger song, actually. That man really do have fire on his cut. uh, that's probably good enough for that one.
Yep.
We got Holiday from She. I don't know if you might have played this one before. It feels like you played this one before.
Nah, I think I played Boulevard of Broken Dreams. I doubt I played Holiday before. Let's hear.
You gonna play one Farvabk?
How to
You just do.
how do?
You can play it in Lounge. Just PX when you play. You have a link to your song.
Does it have
Gotta
to
be a
like
YouTube link.
Yeah,
Does it
you
have
should
to-
play.
Or you can just post the YouTube link and one of us will play it.
Yeah. Yeah, someone play it.
Oh my, I must be mistaken.
Come on,
I
bro.
think I did actually play this before.
I'm doing it.
Very long time
Yo,
ago.
someone play it, bro. Mushy's already making himself look stupid.
Yep, I am dumb.
Oh, classic meme song again. For some reason,
Yeah.
always someone plays like a meme song. It's like a guest.
Yep.
Common occurrence.
Well, I mean, it's a good song.
Yeah, it is a good song.
Yeah. Whenever I think about this song, I always think about the Doge that's like dancing. The Doge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I have like my browser open. I switched to it to get a YouTube link, and I don't know why, but before I joined VC, I was searching paint drawing.
That's a real great YouTube search.
I was like halfway through a video just called 10 hours of paint drawing.
real classic there.
How do you know when it's dry? Can't feel
It's
it.
dry
know.
after 10 hours, man. That's when you know it's dry. We do got weekly predictions coming up. It's probably good enough for that. But we do have a very predictable weekly predictions. So we got the Stanley Cup playoffs here right now. Well, whenever this post is probably this prediction is going to be like predicted. But in the second round, we have the St. Louis Blues versus the Colorado Avalanche. Who's going to win it?
I'm not too familiar with the
Any of those teams?
the
No,
NHL, but
I'm not
I
familiar
think
with any of them.
from what I've heard, I feel like the Blues have not been as good. I'm voting
Oh,
for that other
Blues
team.
just beat our ass, though.
I don't care.
Bruh. Like I lose. We lose a playoff series. Like, we're up 2-1. And then we just, like, crap the bed.
Yep, that's how it works. That's how it works.
I'm going to have to go with the Colorado Avalanche. They're, like, the best team in the league this year.
Okay, then I'm just gonna follow suit because I don't know. I don't follow NHL.
Farvabk,
Yeah.
Colorado, or St. Louis?
Oh, St. Louis.
All right, we're a split decision.
Yep.
But I guess you guys any final statements?
Nope.
God damn. Anyways, I guess goodbye and good night, brothers.